Okay, let's tackle question 5, which is a pretty simple one. This one's it's asked as if it's hypothetical, as if you don't even have to do the lab. The question is, what observations would lead you to believe that the black ink is actually a mixture? Maybe you do believe that the black ink is a mixture. Maybe you haven't done the lab. Doesn't matter. Because all they're asking is what would make you think that the black ink is not just black ink, but it's a mixture of different colors. Well, what would you have to see to think that? Personally, I'd probably have to see that the black ink separated into different colors, and then I'd think it's a mixture of different colors. So I would answer that something like, I would believe that the black ink is a mixture if I saw it separate into different colors. So here's how I'd complete it. It separates into different colors. And then I'm done. And I'd give myself, since I'd grade myself, I'd give myself 5 points for that. It's kind of too many points, but this is the way that K12, our publisher, does things. The number of points they give for these questions can be pretty funky. Okay, so that's it, and I'm going to go straight on to question 6 because that one, question 5 is so easy. Not going to make a separate video. Okay, this one's a little more difficult. You are given an unknown type of clothing dye. Is that a command or is that a question? That's neither. That's background information you need to know. Nothing you have to do for that. Just make a mental note of it. Unknown type of clothing dye. Unknown dye. You don't know what it is. How could you use the procedures in this lab to see if this dye is a mixture? So how could you use the procedures to see if this dye is a mixture? Well, let me make this simple for you. I think there are basically 2 things you have to do. One, you have to tell me what you would do. So what is the procedure you would use? And then you'd have to tell me what is it that you would see if this dye is a mixture. So how could you tell if the dye is a mixture? First, what would you do? And then what would you see to tell you if it's a mixture or not? So in my answer sentences, I start them off for you here, so you know how to begin. So first I'd say, in order to tell if a dye were a mixture of different colors, I would, and now you describe what you would do here. A little hint, you probably don't have to use all 4 solvents that you used in the lab. So choose a solvent that you think works well for this sort of thing and just use that one and tell me what you would do. I might write, I would put a dot of the ink on a slip of paper and put it in a vial of, I'll say water for 20 minutes. Right, that's what I would put here for this sentence. And how about the next one? Now you have to tell me what you would see that would tell you that it's a mixture. And if you don't see it, you know it's not a mixture. So I start off this sentence saying, if the dye were a mixture of colors, then I would see, what would I see? I'd see it separate into different colors, just like the dyes in the lab separated into different colors. So that's how I'd complete this one. Now, K12 in their infinite wisdom assigned 5 points to this question, and I'm going to break it down this way. If you tell me what you would do, I'm going to give you 2 points. Why only 2 points and not 2.5? I don't like fractions here. I'm going to give you less than the other part because in this one you're just telling me what you already did. You can look up the procedure. You already did it. This second part requires that you understand how to interpret the results. So I think that's worth a little bit more because you have to understand the procedure and the results. So I'm going to make this one worth 3 points. But really it's just because 5 doesn't break down evenly into two different parts. So tell me what you would see if the dye were a mixture, and I added of colors just to make it real clear for you. And I'll give you 3 points for a correct answer. That's it. That's the last question in this lab. If you get them all right, you'll get 30 points from me. If you don't get them all right, I will hand it back to you in the Dropbox with comments, fix those errors, turn it back in, and I'll regrade it. Now, I say that as Mr. Shepard. You can call me Edward. I'll do that for you. Other teachers, it's up to them whether they regrade labs or not. So find out from your teacher.